Welcome to this edition of the Click and Pledge's Fundraising Command Center podcast, where we talk the why, the what, and the how in the Click and Pledge's ecosystem.
This is the Why series. And today, we're really tackling something foundational, It's less about the latest tactic and much more about the invisible structure of successful organizations.
We're calling it the Anna Karenina Framework. And to get us started, I think we have to use the quote that inspired this whole deep dive. It's the opening line of Tolstoy's novel.
Happy families are all alike. Every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way.
And when you swap the word families for nonprofits, it's incredibly revealing, isn't it?
It's profound. It tells you that all the thriving organizations, well, they look alike because they've solved the same core problems. But the ones that are struggling.
Oh, they believe their problems are completely unique, a one-of-a-kind tragedy.
Right. Our board is different or our donor base is special, that kind of thing.
Exactly. And that's really the hook for today. We recommend that you see that most struggling organizations, they don't really have a fundraising problem. They have a systems problem.
A fragile structure, really. It's what's underneath the mission that makes success feel impossible.
So we want to help you get past those symptoms and, get to the real diagnosis.
And that diagnosis forces us to look at something a little uncomfortable. I mean, this widespread reliance on the donor as ATM approach.
Donor as ATM.
Yeah. And we are challenging you directly on this because it's not about being nicer or writing better emails. It's a deep structural failure.
It's replacing real human connection with what feels like efficiency.
But it's not. It's a transactional habit. You've seen organizations stuck in it, and they call it automation or scaling.
Right. But what they're really running is an extraction loop. They're optimizing for volume today, but they're just burning through trust for tomorrow.
And it creates that feeling of always being behind, always scrambling. Because genuine connection requires something more. It requires recognition.
So what's the test? How do you know if you're falling into that trap?
Well, here's the provocative truth. If your only personalization is dear first name, you're not building a relationship. You're just trust latch. You're running extraction with better fonts.
Ouch. That's a good line.
It's a failure of human recognition. Your internal systems are actually stopping you from seeing the donor as a real person.
Okay, so let's formalize this. The Anna Karenina Framework for Nonprofits. What is it exactly?
The thesis is pretty simple. Thriving organizations, they look all alike because they share a few powerful, often invisible systems.
And these systems, they're what generate the good stuff.
Exactly. The continuity, the trust, the institutional learning, the partnership.
And on the other side, the struggling organizations.
You have these unique, personal, painful stories of woe, the divided board, the major donor who just ghosted them, the CRM, that's a total mess.
And the uniqueness of those stories is actually a distraction.
It is. It hides the real problem, which is the fixable, missing system underneath it all.
This is where we have to state the core thesis. Because once you see it, it changes every decision you make.
Success is systemic. Failure is personal.
Say that again.
Success is systemic. Failure is personal.
That's powerful. Because it doesn't dismiss the pain people are feeling.
Not at all. It just gives you a tool to cut through the noise, to find the actual leverage point. The question stops being, are we trying hard enough?
And it becomes,
do we have the systems that let our care and our effort actually compound over time?
I love that. Letting care compound. To really understand that, we have to bring the human element back in. Let's talk about connective labor.
Yeah, this is a concept from a sociologist, Alison Pugh. She defines it as work that relies on empathy, on spontaneity, on mutual recognition.
All the things that computers, even with great AI, really struggle to replicate.
They do. It's the soft skills that make a relationship feel real.
And when you apply that lens to fundraising, it clicks immediately. Fundraising isn't just processing transactions.
No, it is fundamentally connective labor. It's recognition work. It's the craft of making a donor feel genuinely seen.
Seen, remembered, and connected to the impact.
Yes. And this is what leads to the problem of the last human donor.
The last human donor. Explain that.
Think about it this way. The donor is often the very last real human in a system that's otherwise completely optimized for standardization.
For efficiency, for automated input.
Exactly. So the moment your system fails to remember them or to recognize their context, that's the moment the human part of the relationship just breaks.
So the infrastructure you built to help is actually, ironically, making that connection impossible.
It is. Which brings us to the bridge. The one sentence that connects your data architecture directly to how your donors feel.
This is a big one. Data silos operationalize misrecognition.
That phrase is so important. It explains how good people at good organizations can still make their donors feel completely unseen.
Because if your internal systems, your CRM, your event platform, your email list, if they can't agree that Sue Smith and Susan Smith are the same person,
then the organization emotionally fails to recognize her. The emotional failure is a direct result of the architectural failure.
so the donor ends up in this weird paradox. They're hyper-visible as a wallet, a transaction amount, a segment in a spreadsheet,
Right, a number on a report.
but they're also subtly invisible as a human being with a story and motivations.
That's it. Silos don't just break reporting, they break recognition. That cold, mechanical feeling a donor gets. It flows right from your data and your daily habits.
So if the happy nonprofits are all alike because they have these systems, what are they? What are these invariants that let them pass the Tolstoy test?
There are 5 of them. 5 core systems that keep that connective labor alive and scalable.
Okay, let's go through them. If one is broken, the whole thing feels fragile. What's number one?
Number 1 is donor memory. This is about a unified identity over time. It's the bedrock of trust.
And we're not just talking about getting a name right in an email.
No, this is deeper. It's system-level memory. Think about that donor who exists as 5 separate records in your database.
Susan, the anonymous PayPal donation.
Right. When that continuity breaks, trust breaks. You can't have a real relationship with someone you can't reliably recognize.
Okay, that makes sense. Number 2.
Attribution you can learn from. And this is critical. It's not about who gets the credit.
It's not the easy last click answer.
No. It's about honestly answering the question, what actually caused this to happen? If your attribution system is weak, it just becomes political.
You get the email team fighting the social media team over a donation.
And nobody learns anything. The learning loop collapses. You just keep repeating the same actions without getting any smarter.
Okay. Number 3, low friction giving.
This is a huge one. It's just about respecting the moment of motivation.
A donor feels moved, they click donate now, and they hit a wall.
A wall of 9 required fields and a page that times out. That friction is a hidden tax on their generosity. It's disrespectful to their impulse to help.
It silently punishes them for caring. I like that framing. What's 4th?
Donor partnership. This is where you consciously stop treating people like machines that spit out money when you pull a lever.
So it's about autonomy, respect,
and meaning. Beyond the transaction, your processes have to support real recognition, so your staff isn't constantly doing heroic, manual workarounds just to send a thoughtful thank you note.
The system should make it easy to remember their history, their preferences.
Exactly. The process should respect the human.
And the final one, the capstone.
Closed-loop learning. The system has to get smarter over time. The signals you get from donor behavior, from campaigns, they have to connect back to outcomes.
So that your decisions actually improve.
Yes. If your system only generates reports that nobody reads, that's not learning, that's just reporting. A closed loop means you're not just working hard, you're compounding your knowledge.
So when you see those struggling nonprofits, the ones with the messy personal stories,
You can almost always trace it back to a breakdown in one of those 5 invariants. The failure feels unique, but the cause is predictable.
this gets back to the framing problem you mentioned.
It does. If you frame the problem as, how do we get more donations this month, you're guaranteeing you'll use pressure tactics. You'll optimize for the short term.
And you'll burn that long-term trust.
Right. So we recommend a better frame.
Which is,
Fundraising is the design of an ongoing relationship that compounds trust.
if you adopt that frame, everything else shifts. Data becomes memory, personalization becomes recognition.
And that destructive donor as ATM habit, it becomes obvious what it is. A short-term play that costs you in the long run.
So how can you, the listener, figure out where you stand right now?
We have a quick diagnostic, the 5-question Tolstoy test. Answer them honestly.
Okay, rapid fire. Question 1. Can we recognize a donor reliably across all our systems and over time? If not, you have donor amnesia.
2. When someone gives, do we know what caused it well enough to learn from it? If not, you're just doomed to repeat things.
3. Does the giving experience reduce friction and respect that emotional moment? If not, your donation form is silently taxing generosity.
4. Do donors feel seen as human beings after they give? If not, you're running an extraction loop no matter how nice the letter is.
And 5. Do we have a feedback loop that turns signals into better decisions, not just more reports? If not, you're working hard, but you're not compounding knowledge.
The whole point of the framework is that when you pass those tests, your organization starts to look like all the other successful ones. Predictable trust. When you fail, well, your failure is messy and personal.
Okay, so this can feel overwhelming. What's the one thing to do next? Don't try to fix all 5 at once.
No, that's a recipe for paralysis.
Yeah.
Pick one narrow donor journey. Just one. Maybe it's the journey from a first-time gift to a second gift.
And redesign that one journey for recognition, not just for processing.
Yes. And within that journey, fix 2 things. First, identity and memory. Make sure you can actually recognize that person across every tool used in that one journey.
That's the technical fix for a human problem.
Exactly. And second, recognition. Make sure the communication, the timing, the thank you, the tone feels like we see you, not you are in segment B.
It has to prove you remember them.
It's all about that fundamental insight. If connective labor, the empathy, the recognition is the last human job in fundraising.
Then our job is to build systems that serve that recognition, not systems that accidentally replace it with cold automation.
And we come back to the thesis that should guide your strategy. Success is systemic. Failure is personal. The goal is to build those 5 invariants: donor memory, learnable attribution, low friction, donor partnership, and closed-loop learning, so that your success becomes repeatable.
So it's not just dependent on luck or the heroic burnout of a few good people.
For more information about this and all Click and Pledge products, make sure to visit clickandpledge.com and request for a one-on-one training or demo. Whether you are a client or curious about our platform, just ask us, and we will gladly get together with you to chat.
Don't forget to subscribe to this deep dive to stay up to date with all the latest and greatest features of the Click and Pledge Fundraising Command Center.